Jake Paul and Logan Paul will each make easily $10 million each this year, guys. And that's without question. In 2017, each of them will clear at least $10 million. How the hell are these kids doing it? One's 20 years old, one's 22 years old. They are gonna make so much money this year, it's disgusting. And next year, it's gonna be even more epic. And so we're gonna view on how they're making all this money. But first, we gotta view how did they become successful? How have they blown up on YouTube? For those of you guys who don't know them, they are basically, they're involved with a lot of different things, but mainly they're YouTube vloggers now. Now, they've come over from the Vine platform. These guys had huge followings on Vine. For those of you who do not remember Vine, Vine was a service in which had 6-second little clips. It blew up around 2013, 2014, and then it actually died off in 2016, like the whole program quit. But they capitalized on Vine, and they just blew up on Vine. Like, they become huge. Like, Jake Paul, I think, had over 5 million people before it was shut down. I think Logan Paul had close to 10 million. Huge following. So then what did they do? Well, they can't do Vine anymore, so they came over to YouTube about, and really started going hard on YouTube like 6-9 months ago. Before that, they were still kind of focused around Vine and trying to figure out what are we going to do, right? So they came over here and they're like, let's start vlogging. So that's exactly what they have done. Now, they had huge followings that came over with them. Like, as soon as they came over to YouTube and really started going hard, like, they had hundreds of thousands of people who came over from Vine to YouTube to watch them. So right off the bat, they had huge success right off the bat there. Like, tons of people came over just to watch them, right? That's great, and that's really good in YouTube's eyes, because basically it means that, let's say 500,000 people came over from their Vine platform to YouTube, and they start watching them religiously on YouTube. That's a really good sign for YouTube, in that YouTube says, let's start promoting these videos even more to other people, because guess what? They're getting insane view to subscriber ratio. So if you're getting, they would get more than 100% of their subscriber base would watch a video. So if they had, 700,000 subscribers at a time, they might be getting 1.1 million views, 1.2 million views on a video. That's ridiculous. And YouTube's eyes are like, we need to promote this video even more. And that's how the algorithm works, right? Because when you got that type of ratio, they'll promote it more and more. It's no different than my channel. The videos that break out, they break out even more, because YouTube then starts putting on other people's recommended who aren't even subscribers, or they put it on subscribers that haven't watched one of my videos in months. That's just how the algorithm works in YouTube. So they keep getting built, And what they figured out is they figured out how to go ahead and start some drama with each other to pull in more views. And so you watch, one guy's video, Jake Paul, and he does this music video that's like a diss track or whatever on his brother, and his brother does the same thing against him, and you got to keep up with the drama. And then there's Jake Paul's old girlfriend, and she's involved with it. And then there's Rice Gum, another huge YouTuber with millions of subscribers, that gets involved. And then there's all these people going back and forth, and you get caught up in this feedback loop where you're like, oh, I'm involved with the story. No different than a person would be involved with a soap opera. A soap opera, what is that about? How does it attract viewers? There's always some drama going on that attracts viewers in, and then they're like, oh, I got to pay attention to the story. And the views on a soap opera always get the highest when there's the most amount of drama, and you got to be caught up in the story, because there's like, oh, this person shot somebody, or this person said this about this person, or this person cheated on whoever. That is exactly what they've done, and it's been phenomenal. Now, while everybody else is trying to get caught up in the, oh, I hate these people, or oh, I love these people, or whatever, I don't give a shit. Like, what I care about is if I see someone really breaking out and being super successful, I'm like, I got to study them. So I've done, insane amounts of research on these two individuals. I did so much research that the other night I was watching a Logan Paul football highlight tape from when he was in high school, and I was like, oh, okay, now I'm just wasting time at this point. By the way, that guy's a freaking beast. He was a beast at football. Holy smokes. So that's basically how they've done it, and I give them a lot of credit, because they've come out with a very good strategy. The whole, the music video strategy, that, who cares if it's cringy or whatever, because that will get it even more views and even more attention. And, you mention this guy's name, and you mention this guy's name, and then those huge YouTubers do diss tracks back on you, and it's just like, It's a smart strategy, and also I also respect their grind because these guys are vlogging every single day, day in and day out. They release a video every single day, which vlogging your day is probably not the easiest thing in the world, and they have to be like hyped up every single video. These guys are hyped up. Like, I've watched their videos, they're like ready to go. It doesn't matter if they're tired, like they're going. And their video idea format, very smart for attracting a younger audience. Like, I'm talking 18 and under. I'm talking, you know, younger than 18-year-old audience. What are the younger than 18-year-old audience? They love some drama here and there. They love some, you know, some clickbaity type stuff, you know, like car wash gone sexual or whatever, you know, type of clickbait stuff that is. But they also love a video that's fast-paced. That's like, there's a lot of cuts in it. You know, as soon as it dies down, it goes right back up. Like, and that's their philosophy. They've taken vlogging to the next level because they realize that as soon as a video dies down, you know, especially with the younger base, you'll lose their attention. They'll go somewhere else or click on another video or go off the platform or whatever. That's not good. So as soon as the video goes down to a, you know, a chill out mode, or it loses attention, boom, they pick it back up and it goes up and it goes up. So it's not like, you know, if it's a more of a mature base where you got a lot of people, like my channel, for instance, like almost everybody on my channel is like over 25. The people that aren't are between 18 and 25, right? Like, only 1% of my viewers on this channel are under the age of 18. Shout out if you're one of the people, if you're that 1%, because you guys will be the future 1% someday of holding all the wealth in the world. But basically, you know, an older audience can pay attention. An older audience doesn't care that it's super fast paced and those kinds of things. An older audience will, you know, watch somebody for a long amount of time. A younger audience, man, they want the action. They want the action. If you don't keep it moving, they're going to go somewhere else. And that's why a lot of vloggers failed. And, you know, I've tried and tried for years to figure it out because their videos are just too slow paced, and for, especially if you're going after a younger audience. So that's how they've done it. That's how they've blown up on YouTube, right? Now, how are these guys making so much money? Well, number one way is they have their stake. So whenever I talk about building a business or something, you need to have something that's your stake, something in the plate there that's your main item, right? And then you have side dishes all around that help you bring in more money. So each of them, their stake is YouTube views. YouTube views, ads being shown on YouTube. Based upon my calculations, each of them should bring in a minimum of $5 million in YouTube ad revenue this year. A minimum of $5 million. Like, if I'd be amazed if they don't make at least $5 million each on YouTube. Upwards of possibly over $10 million on YouTube ads alone, guys, alone. Absolutely amazing numbers in itself based upon the amount of views they get, what their CPMs would probably be, and they're going to be definitely on the lower end range because it's not a ton of advertisers that will pay a ton of money to get in front of kids, so which is the majority of their base is 18-year-olds old or younger. So, you know, based upon their CPMs, but with the amount of views they're getting, I mean, these guys are getting, you know, Jake Paul specifically, he's getting 5 million plus views every single day on every single video. He's got a music video that came out about a little over 3 weeks ago. It's got over 50 million views, guys. Like, we're talking about ridiculous amounts of views. So that is their that's their main income, right? And the number two way is they both have merchandise lines. They both have, you know, sweaters they sell and all these type of merchandise. They mention these merchandise lines in their videos at least one time, pretty much every single video. I've watched probably 15 to 20 Logan Paul videos, same with that Jake Paul, and I noticed almost every single video they're mentioning their merchandise lines at some point, at least once, if not multiple times in that video. Even in the music videos they mention these merchandise lines. It's genius because if you're just getting 1% or 0.01% of the people to buy that, when you're getting millions and millions of views, imagine how much money that adds up into then. And I've noticed it with my own thing. The only thing I have to sell is my book, right? In times when I don't mention my book, which I've started mentioning it pretty much at the end of every video, but I've done tests. When I don't mention my book in a video, right, I notice book sales that day are not as high. And when I do mention it at the end of the day, they're much higher, guys. And these guys have figured that out, and they're like, let's mention our merchandise lines at least once, if not twice, if not 3 times in a video. And there you go. You make a bunch more money because millions of people are watching these videos, guys. Number 3, and I don't know how much they do this anymore, but sponsors pay them ridiculous amounts of money. And I don't even know if they're to the point where they might be too big to even care about sponsor money anymore. Maybe they are, maybe they aren't. I really don't know. But if you do want to get a sponsorship from them, I mean, if you want to, get your product in their video or something like that, I guarantee you better be coming in with at least $100,000, at least. And that's like bare minimum. If you want, get a shout out for your product or service, or have them use it in the background or whatever, like, you better be coming in with at least $100,000. I can almost guarantee you neither one of them, and you would probably have to go through their manager or whatever to even get that involved, but like, I guarantee you almost neither one of them would take less than $100,000. If I wanted them to, put my book in a video, I guarantee you they would charge $100,000, $200,000, because the videos are getting so many millions of views that it's like, okay, what would you be paying for that if you want to do YouTube ads on that? What would you be paying if you wanted that ad on TV? And, that's the thing, guys. So they make so much money off sponsors. And once again, I'm not sure how much they're even doing this. I know they were doing it to make money on Vine because Vine doesn't have an advertising platform in which they could make money. So Viners and Instagram people still nowadays do that, where, they have a product or service in their video or picture, and that's how they make money, guys. So that's definitely another way. Number 4, they sell songs and they sell books. So they both come out with songs on iTunes. Jake Paul, that song, It's Everyday Bro, that song went to #1 on iTunes and stayed there for almost 48 hours. Like, it passed up every song out there. I think it was even ahead of Despacito with Justin Bieber at one point. Like, that is ridiculous, guys. Like, you imagine how many sales you have to do to be the #1 song on the entire iTunes platform. Like, imagine how many sales you have to do just to be in the top 100, right? The top 100. Now, think about to be #1 or #2 or #3, like, mind-blowing numbers, guys. They both have books they sell, on Amazon, all those platforms. So they're making so much money off these songs they release, and the money from the books coming in, guys. It's absolutely ridiculous. Definitely, you sell a lot of $1.29 songs on Apple. Add up the numbers there, guys. If 100,000 people buy them or 1 million people buy them, which you might need to be #1, holy smokes, guys. Number five. This is Jake Paul in particular. He's got a very smart business strategy because he's the center, he's the main piece, and he's got this team of like 10 different people around him, and he has them all signed for contracts, and he puts them in their videos, and they, kind of spreads the message about them and kind of helps blow them up, right? So they become popular, and then he gets a cut of all their advertising revenue and their deals and those kinds of things, guys. So that is another phenomenal way because he gets to make money off all those people. He mentioned it. I watched a whole like hour-and-a-half video about him on, I can't remember the name of the channel he did, but it was like a sit-down interview, and that's what he was talking about with his team. And so he makes money off of all those people. He was talking about, he viewed it as his words were something, he viewed it as like Dr. Dre, back when Dr. Dre signed Eminem, and then Eminem signed 50 Cent, and Dr. Dre was making money off all these different people. That's kind of his view. He makes money off of all these other, creators that maybe only have 1 million subscribers or 500,000 or 2 million or whatever. He's making money off all those people as well. So that's another income source. And number 6, they also do acting, they do movies, they do shows, and these guys are well on their way. As long as they don't F it all up, they're well on their way to being probably the biggest celebrities in the world. And I know that sounds ridiculous to say right now, but if they keep this going strong for the next 5-10 years, they will be the biggest celebrities in the world, guys. Like, I see how much attention they're already getting. Like to release a song and that song goes to #1 on iTunes. Like, imagine how big of a celebrity these guys already are. And I know if you're watching this and you're over 25 years old, you probably have never even heard of these guys or know very little about them before this video, right? But think about that, guys. You have to be a monster celebrity to get the kind of views they're getting, the kind of attention they're getting, the kind of money they're making. And I think it's just really starting, unless they F up the whole program and they, make a lot of bad decisions that will... And by the way, bad decisions doesn't mean they can't be controversial. Like, these whole diss tracks, that's a smart idea. Getting attention, getting people to have an emotional reaction to you, love you or hate you. It's actually a very smart thing. That's one of the reasons Floyd Mayweather makes so much money for a fight. The guy will make $300 million plus to fight Conor McGregor, like for a 36-minute fight or whatever. Like, that's ridiculous because so many people want to see him get knocked out, and a lot of other people love him. So it's definitely a smart idea there, guys. And that's how these guys are making so much freaking money, and how they've blown up their channels and these kinds of things, and how they're well on their way to becoming some of the biggest celebrities in the world. And I would already consider them like maybe top 100 or 200. And I know that sounds crazy, guys, but I'm telling you, these guys, you know, if you're under the age of 18, I guarantee, if you're in high school or middle school or elementary school, I guarantee you there's a lot of kids talking about this, and we're probably talking about the drama between them, and, oh, I'm Team Jake Paul and I'm Team Logan Paul and stuff, guys. These guys are blowing up big time, so I don't have an opinion on if I like them or don't like them. I respect their grind because they are working their ass off, you know, no matter which way you want to look at it. These guys are putting in, you know, 12-hour, 16-hour, 18-hour work days, you know, doing this vlogging, trying to keep it entertaining and stuff. Who knows how much sleep they're getting, and they have to be up the very next day and do it all over again, and the very next day and do it all over again, 7 days a week, guys. So regardless of what people think about them, I just respect their grind because they are grinding, and that's one of the main reasons, other than the strategy, why they've done so well. So hope you guys enjoyed this today. If you just came across this channel, you may want to subscribe. We talk personal finance in the channel. We talk entrepreneurship. I'm an actual business owner. I give away so many business tips. You could learn some things from this 20-year-old and 22-year-old Jake Paul and Logan Paul, believe me. We also talk stock market investing more than anything on this channel, guys. Thank you for watching, and have a great day.